Hey,
Hello.
hello.
Alright, so, hi, my name's Brandon.
Okay, I'm Guanxi.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Give
this
me a sec to get everything all set up here real quick. I
sure.
was watching AGDQ bonus stream and I realized what time it was. I was like, oh shit. Alright. Looks like we're all up to date on that end. Closing all my stuff. Alright. Downloading the replay here.
Okay. Do you want me to like screen share or just watch at the same time or something?
Oh, you can just go at the same time, like launch at the same time. We can go over it together.
Sure. This is like a month ago, so I don't remember like my thought process and stuff. But hopefully, we can get something out.
Yeah, it's okay. Even if you don't remember, there's still just things I can point out. And, like you said, you wanted to learn how to lane from behind. Is this a
Yeah,
game where you do end up getting behind?
yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, like, tell you this first, like, as a right off the bat type thing. Laning when you're behind on Quinn, already very difficult to do. Because,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, you're supposed to win and bully up the lane. Alright, I'm gonna pause the game at 15 seconds in game time. Um,
Alright, it's loading for me. I'll tell you when it gets.
Yeah, just go ahead and pause it at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, but even for champions that are like better mid game, I guess like I mean I play like Poppy or really a top lane and things like that, who doesn't really need to win lane. Like it's still like I know like I will go for CS and then just get completely destroyed and we'll just yeah.
Okay, well, I'll definitely try and give you some advice on playing from behind because it is definitely a lot harder than playing from when you have a lead. That's for sure.
Hmm.
The league client is going full retard on me right now. Just let me know when you're in game. I'm paused.
Okay. Alright, I'm here. 15 seconds.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and count down. Just started it. Go. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I'm just gonna have the camera following you, essentially the
Okay.
entire time, and I'm just gonna kind of talk about what I see.
Alright.
Okay, the replay is scaring me because it stopped loading at like 7:20, and I was like, "Ooh, it's going now."
Okay.
Okay, so right off the bat, first thing I noticed is that you started cloth 5. You generally never on Quinn top. That's generally never the case, like what you should be doing, because since you have that range leash, since you're essentially an AD carry, you shouldn't be allowing Tryndamere to ever get close to you unless he
Yeah,
spins at you. Uh,
usually I would start Long Swords 3 or because I don't like
yeah,
Orange Blade Star, but I don't know why I started because I saw they have pretty much all AD, so I thought
yeah.
that's why.
They do have all AD, but yeah, you generally never want to do that if you're if you're playing range tops that have escapes like Quinn.
Mhm.
Yeah, vaulting when he like spins on you and just keeping the harass going. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's whatever.
Okay. Oh, this is that game. Okay, okay. So I tried to do the like
Oh, you're up
the
against
level one game.
Irelia, huh? Trends mid.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I started Top Side. I remember because I was planning to do the level one golem thing. So I think I don't remember if I did it. If I did, then that's why I started Top Side.
Okay,
Because
so
you can
this
do
is if you are planning on doing this, this is extremely risky because they can actually see you if they do this
really?
for it. Yeah, purple side can actually see blue side doing golems, like and vice versa, because the minions walk by and they can see you through that gap essentially. So
Oh,
it's really I guess this Irelia, like you noticed that you weren't in lane. Like she's just like playing this really poorly. I feel, but they did give a momentary glimpse of you essentially as you had started that.
okay.
So like they may
Yeah, I
not
tried
have
to wait
realized
for
where
the
they'd
meeting
seen you.
to pass by, but I guess yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger of a window than you'd think. Like lasts for quite like some time, like
Uh,
more than you think. That window where they can see, like they'll get a brief flash of you, but like the window where they'll get that brief flash is pretty big, and you pulled them during it. So that's just like one. That's one thing. Like if you had started Gromp there, it would have been fine in that situation because if you had blinded, you could like if you blinded mid auto. You could have actually stopped them from doing two auto attacks instead of having two mobs hitting you. It would have only just been the Gromp. Um,
hmm.
and it would have been a lot safer since it's on your side of the jungle as well.
Yeah, I see.
So, yeah, I'm just
Is
gonna.
that something that you still recommend doing on champions that can do it, like playing even after like the jungle nerfs them?
It's a lot more difficult to do it now than it was back a month ago. So,
Yeah.
it's not really like the greatest thing in the world to do. But on champions like Maokai, you can actually just go to the crows,
Oh
sapping them
yeah,
up.
cause just drop. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just take them at level 1 and teleport to lane, or go shop and then TP to lane if they're pushing.
Hmm.
Because most of the time people will push out in a solo queue for an early level 2 advantage. But
Right.
then you can just like feel free to walk back to lane even sometimes if they're not shoving as hard. But like he's the only one I really recommend doing it on. There's like Scion who can do it too, but his is extremely cheesy and can be
Yeah, I've heard,
foiled
but
really
yeah.
quickly if they see you take two tower shots. It's pretty obvious what you're gonna go do next.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, I've saw that video on. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like a safety thing now. Let's see.
Alright, so regarding early laning, I mean, I know I missed a bunch of CS, but other than
You're
that,
missing CS. I think the bigger problem here is that you're not applying enough pressure as Quinn on Irelia. You've got the range. You've got the
oh
super
yeah, I
strong
really
early
messed up
game.
too.
Yeah.
I believe I died. Yeah, I think I died.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
I didn't think her stun came up that fast, so I could have flashed away or and killed her.
Yeah,
But,
so the thing there is that, alright, what you did is you stood next to low health minions, which she was able to dash to and use that to close the gap on you, to where she'll still have a gap closer up after you use your Q, or your E. When laning
right.
against Irelia, she's the only person in the game where you have to not only think of the lane from your perspective, but you have to think of it from her perspective as well. So you have to keep an eye on their minions and your minions, because you don't want to be standing next to any minions as a ranged champion that she can dash to and use that to close that gap on you, because that's what you got going for you. You've got that nice little range gap. She's got the higher base stats than you just because by virtue of being a melee champion and a bruiser. So you need to keep that leash. And by
Right.
staying next to the low health minion, essentially you forfeit that leash. Yeah, like it was just you should yeah, like you said, you should have flashed out there, but
Yeah,
um, it's at that point like you just gotta be real careful not to stand next to any low health minions. Let me see what she's
I
doing.
see.
That's like paramount when laning against Irelia. She's maxing her W, so it's fairly standard. Some
Yeah,
Irelias will opt to max E into the harder
yeah,
matchups
I
like
know
this.
against range. Yeah,
Especially since you have a blind and can like negate some of her true damage. The E max isn't really a bad thing in this situation. But yeah, you're doing it again. You're kind of like walking into the ranged camp where you have a lot of low health minions which you can dash to and get the reset. So that's just like I don't know if that's something that like you realized or not, if you were doing intentionally or not. But yeah, there you go. Like
yeah. Okay.
just like when laning against Irelia in the future as a ranged champion. Okay, so this is where I thought something would happen.
Alright, so
Uh,
the reason why I pushed out is because there was such a huge minion wave, so that's why.
yeah, there's a really large minion wave,
And
so
then yeah, and then Lee came, but I at first I like underestimated the how far Jarvan would run, so I went the wrong way with my ult.
okay. So in this situation, you have like no wards. You haven't used your trinket yet. Uh, you know, and you were waiting around in an extremely dangerous spot
Right.
for the opportunity to go in. If you looked at the minimap, you would have seen the trend was no longer in mid lane. So
Hmm.
that's already a giant red flag right there. That he's either roaming or whatever, because you're extremely low. Um, oh yeah, your Ezreal's also DC'd. So this is just like a
Oh yeah,
shit game.
yeah, that's but
Okay.
it doesn't. really affect the lane. I mean, so
Yeah. So essentially here, you still have yet to buy a single ward when you're
right.
behind. So you have no vision of anything that's going to be happening to you. The lane is constantly being pushed up or frozen because Irelia is manipulating the minion wave extremely well. Um, Whenever you kill someone, you generally want to shove to the tower because it'll push back at you and force them to play further up in the lane, which is generally a really good time for junglers to make repeat gank, like a gank to you, especially if they've blown your flash. Because yeah, and then here, yeah, you've got the disrespect of the Irelia dash again, and she's able to just all in you successfully.
Yeah.
Like it's just laning against Irelia as a range. You really gotta respect that minion dash because otherwise she's just gonna jump on you and you're done. But
Mhm.
yeah, like wards, cause that's prime time for jungler to gank. Is after the lanes reset. Like most junglers will just generally sit in a lane bush and watch as the minion wave pushes up, and there's literally nothing you can do about that. So dying in a lane is something that you really like early on. Is something you really want to try and prevent, whether it be by over aggressing or just being a little silly with your positioning. Especially like okay, the only time I can say dying in lane is okay is when you're tower diving them and you trade 1 for 1 under the tower with an equal amount of summoner spells burned. Because the lane's going to reset towards you, and you've denied them all that farm and all that golden EXP. That's the only time I can say that dying in lane would be worth it, and even then you still don't want to do it, but that is like best case scenario for a death.
Mhm.
Um,
So
if
you
you
said I wasn't applying enough pressure early game.
Yeah, you
Um,
have a mass. Like I said, you have that range.
right.
Just sit on the other side of her minions and force her off of them so she can't get the farm, and auto attack her whenever she gets close. Because your passive uh, targets champions over minions most of the time. If there's a champion in range, it'll generally go towards the champion instead of the minion. And minions don't aggro onto you. They are like towers. They won't aggro onto you if you won't hit someone that's within their aggro range. So, like,
Right.
if you're sitting in the minions and you force Irelia to the other side, or, like, 'cause she's gonna take a lot of damage if she comes into farm, you can sit there and pressure her off, like, force her out of, like, EXP range or just deny her gold. Which is what Quinn really excels at. Like, you were actually even in CS at, like, level 4 or 5, which is where she starts, really starting to be able to duel you. And yeah, you just took like 3 tower shots there for no real reason, but that
Yeah, yeah.
happens sometimes. But it's just like minion wave manipulation like that. Knowing how to work around minion waves and use your champion to your advantage, which
So, but if I stand like on top of all her minions between my minions and her, then she like if one minion gets low, she will be able to dash you and stun them.
that
Right?
not at level 1.
Yeah, not at level. Okay. So I would do that for the first like 3 levels or so.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
what I mean by applying early pressure. Like you just let
Yeah.
her free farm her way up to like the point where she's able to duel you, and then yeah, roaming Leona. You still haven't used your trinket all game, by the way.
Right. So so if I do that, then I will go like use my trinket like 3 minutes or so, like when jungler finish second buff, or because otherwise that could be easily killed.
Okay, so what you want to do with your trinket is you generally want to drop it somewhere within the enemy jungle or a defensive ward at around the 55 second to 1 minute and 5 second mark. This will let your ward come back off cooldown by the time the jungler is finishing their first buff rotation and is looking for their first gank.
Hmm.
Um,
So okay, so drop it like 1 minute, and then so it will be up at four
yeah,
minutes.
it'll be up at about when they're looking to make their first gank.
Okay.
So like that works out really well. Yeah, you're too far behind and trying to make plays right now. Well, you managed to live, so that Janus ship.
But yeah, I mean at this point, because Ezreal just came back, and then we're really
Yeah, it's really hard to like do anything in this situation because you guys are just so far down from having your 80 carry BD seed for the first 12 minutes. But yeah, you need to use your trinket a lot more.
okay.
As if you keep a warding trinket, like having wards out when you're behind is absolutely essential because essentially when you're behind, that's a giant red flag to the, especially like as a squishy like Quinn or something like that, or Lysandra or whatever. That's giant, basically having a giant red flag over your head saying, "Hey, dive me, please dive me."
Right. Yeah,
Cause
I remember my wards while I'm ahead, because I'm like, okay, I can bait any jungler and like I'll play them. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Like what you said, I usually don't like. I feel like I don't have the time to go off lane to ward when I'm already behind. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, when you're behind, you essentially just want to try not to give up any more deaths. Getting denied some farm is okay, but you just need to try not to die and look for like plays when the risk is low and the reward is high. You have to do a risk reward evaluation of each of each thing you do from that point forward. And you don't want to take anything that has like a medium risk or higher. You want to always look for low risk, like medium high reward in that situation. If you can't find those, just try and farm, try and keep farming, because especially in this situation, like your champion just doesn't scale as well.
Right.
Um, like she can duel you essentially from level 4, 5 onward if she doesn't get too bad of a start. But if you like I said, if you apply that early pressure and you sit on the other side of the minions and auto attack, and get poke her down, force her to use those flash charges in order to stay in EXP range, you'll hit level 2 first. You'll be able to apply even more pressure that way by applying double passes and even get a kill probably with your ignite.
I see.
So it's just things like that. Like starting the golems probably wasn't the best of ideas because it allowed her to get those first few minions rolling,
Right.
and start to snowball the EXP towards her. Like yeah, you got the level 2 first, but she was able to get EXP without taking damage. Like she was able to get like 3/4 of a level before you had even walked into lane.
Right.
Which is where you have the biggest advantage, and you didn't even get level 2 walking. Like you got level 2 after like a minion or two, and she hit level 2 like after 2 minions had died. And you couldn't really deny her at that point because she had Blade Surge.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
So it's just like weighing, like a lot of laning is just judging your power spikes and the enemy's power spikes. Like when are you strong? When is the enemy strong? Are you stronger than the enemy at this point? It's like essentially things like that. 15 minutes in, you still haven't dropped the ward.
Haven't used my trinket. That's okay.
Yeah, you still haven't used your trinket once. Like warding, it's extremely valuable. Yes, okay, on Irelia. I feel like you use your blind a little early. You generally want to pop that around when she uses heat and style instead of just like right off the bat for damage, but it's whatever.
Okay.
That's you still got the kill or whatever. This is being
Yeah, I don't know why.
extremely greedy on your part, but
Yeah.
let's see, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like warding, it's good for a reason. When you're ahead, it allows you to star them out of vision and prevent them from going into places of the map where they normally go. And when you're behind, it allows you to see where they're trying to make picks and like dives and stuff like that happen. It allows you to, judge your movement based off the enemy movement. Buying wards is just a good idea at every point in the game and placing them. A lot of people buy wards but don't place them. Is another thing.
Yeah,
you buy a
that
pink
happen.
right here. Alright, so just out of curiosity, do you know the purpose of pink wards?
It's to keep in areas that it's not warded, so like you can. It's for vision control versus like just knowing where the enemy is.
Yes and no. That's partially the right answer. There's more to it than that, though. A pink ward is essentially a mobile objective creator. What that means is whenever you place a pink ward, you are effectively denying vision of that area. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm really sorry about that.
That's
No, apparently no one's answering it. Give it a sec to die out.
oh.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so it's like I was saying, it's a mobile objective creator because it denies the enemy vision of that area, so they can no longer walk there safely. Pink wards take 5 hits to destroy in their entirety. So being that's a lot of hits, especially in the early game when people are lacking attack speed, or the range to clear it. So that's essentially something that you can force the enemy to fight over in order to get vision back in that area.
Mm.
So,
But when you're behind, what does that do if the enemy can just
if you're behind, it's just use it to clear vision. Like honestly, that's all you need. You just need to try to not like when you're behind. What you want to do is deny them vision in your jungle, because that's what they're doing. Like if you look at your jungle, your entire bottom side jungle is like warded up. They can see everything.
Yeah.
Like they have a ward in your base and then a pink ward there. Like yeah, their ward coverage could be a little better, but they're essentially just like pushing in with like they're champions in their wards and getting vision on you guys. What you need to do is you need to like deny that. Like you bought a sweeper, yeah. You still haven't placed your pink. You still haven't placed a green that you bought.
Mhm.
Like it's just yeah, warding is essential when you're behind. Like it's good when you're ahead, but it's even more essential when you're behind.
Yeah.
Like that's yeah, like that's the biggest thing I'm seeing so far from this replay is just warding. That's like that needs a lot of work because essentially like warding wins games.
Alright.
Um, and it also helps you make comebacks because like if you see someone like walking around in your jungle, like oftentimes in solo queue, supports will run around in the jungle, just to ward by themselves. You can just make
Yeah, and then
you
they
can,
will just get picked off and
yeah,
then their team
exactly.
break. Mhm.
Exactly. Like you can make picks and prevent them from like grouping as five and forcing objectives by having a numbers advantage. Because even when you're slightly behind, being down an entire person, like if they were down Leona, they're down 5.5k gold and a lot of their CC. Like essentially all of their CC, aside from the conditional Irelia stun and the Jarvan knockup. All their hard CC is gone.
Right.
So they can't really force a fight on you guys because you'll just blind their two melee carries in Tryndamere Irelia and they're done. Because like they without Leona they can't lock down the block or Ezreal really.
Right. Yeah, the thing is, like, we just had Ezreal has to just like farm top, but then like basically he just gets destroyed by whatever goes there.
That's his problem for overextending. There's not much you can do about that. Well, yeah, it sucks. There's just really not much that can happen if your teammate decides to overextend and die 1v1 like that. But yeah, you're also like kind of overextending without vision. Like I know you're sitting like right outside your base, but you still don't know where anyone is,
That's true.
Like if you
But like I can't just go to my jungle and ward because then like what you said with support getting picked up, like that could just happen. I mean, I have my W, but that's clean. Like
you have your W, but like when you see them on the map, and you know that they can't be there. So like if you like when they were bot side, you could just gone and drop wards on your top side and like left that, and then like if they rotate back to top, then go in and clear out your bottom side. It's just like having the awareness like of the map to do that, or like if you see four people, like 3-4 people top side or like in the mid. You can feel free like walk into the jungle, drop a pink ward in a different place, or maybe sweep a bush while like they're pushing in or whatever. Like when they're just not in position to do that is when you just like you don't have to get vision all back in one fell swoop, but being able to reclaim some of your jungle as your own, like little by little, is what you want to try to start doing, especially when you're in this situation here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, LeBlanc is getting dove, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure like how much we can get out the rest of this replay because it's pretty much them abusing the 5 versus 4.
Yeah,
and they snowball the early game too.
It's fine, but there's still a lot you can tell from a defeat. Like just even like a stomp one way or the other, there's still a lot you can tell about a player or a team's strengths and weaknesses. So even these kinds of replays are worth watching because it's like, all right, what could I have done better in this situation? Like, yeah, it might not have helped us win. Like, we might not have won us the game, but what could I have done better on?
Right. Yeah.
Because Ezreal did eventually reconnect. So if you hadn't like gotten so far behind top.
Yeah. If like suppose I won the lane, so I really won the lane, then it would have been possible that we won.
Yeah, you guys could have held off until Ezreal got strong enough to be a member in fights or something like that. So it's just like things like that. Because he wasn't gone for the entire game.
Right.
Yeah, but right now you're dropping wards in your jungle when you know that they're taking dragon. That's really good. Your team needs to start helping with that. Like Ezreal still doesn't have a trinket, but
Oh yeah, he doesn't have trinket.
Yeah, like this is kind of what I was talking about with the whole vision thing. Because like, right now you guys are sitting on a ward, Like a pink in that bush
Yeah,
when their enemy team's taking dragon is always a great idea.
yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
I'm curious. Yeah, right now you guys have no business being this far up. Like
right, because we have no vision of the
you have
area.
no vision and you're behind. Like they're grouped as 5,
Yeah.
you have no reason to be pushing this far forward into
I
unwarded
think it's
territory.
because like they got dragons, so we're thinking like, okay, we have to get something back. I think that was our
You
thought.
don't yeah, you don't necessarily have to get something back while it's nice. Um,
Oh yeah, that was just because I eat while charming on YouTube.
yeah, like while it's nice, you need to like take stock of the situation you're in, and like in that situation, just ping your team back. Because there's nothing you
Uh-huh.
can really do there. They can win a 4v5 at that
Yeah.
stage, especially when you're all clumped up and Jarvan gets a 3-man knockup like he did. Um, yeah, you just kind of committed suicide. But that's okay, because, no, I guess they're not going to go for you. But there's not much you can do at this point. Like,
Yeah, I was guessing they were doing Baron, but there's nothing I could do.
yeah, there's not much you can do here. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, one behind, lots of warding. That's
Okay.
that's the main thing you want to be doing. Um,
All right.
even in ahead, like yeah, you remember to ward more when you're ahead, but behind it's even more important. Um, and just like being able to judge your power spikes versus the enemy's power spikes, and that just comes through a lot of playing these different champions and playing these different matchups and knowing when you're going to be strong as opposed to when they're going to be strong. Because
Mhm.
being able to abuse when you're strong versus when they're weak, like when you're in a power spike versus when they're in a power drop or something like that, is really key to like just carrying with like from your lane in any
Right.
lane. So
So for like main champions like Queen, or I used to main Needle before like all the nerfs that
mhm.
make her like really weak right now, but like I guess your power spike against melee champion is just like level like 1, 2, 3, and then maybe like 6 and
Okay, so Nidalee is really strong. Like you played AD Nidalee, correct?
yeah, I played in season 3, so like I've
Okay.
always played.
Yeah, so AD Nidalee was really strong in season 3. That was before her rework, right?
Yeah, before rework, yeah.
Yeah, pre-rework Nidalee was she
It was
was
different, right?
yeah, like okay, so essentially what you did is level 1 through 5, like well 1 through 5, you kind of just tried to auto attack and like stay safe. Because
Yeah.
you weren't didn't have really any kill potential because you didn't have Cougar form, and
Right.
you like just wanted to like stay safe, get to that level 6 part. Once you get level 6, definitely is your power spike because that's
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
get
I agree. Yeah.
yeah, that's when you get access to your complete like other set of abilities. That power spike you have to realize is a lot stronger than majority of other champions' power spikes because while they only get access to one ability, you get access to 3 more abilities than them. So you're
Right.
essentially you're 2 abilities up on any champion, on any given champion. Um,
Uh-huh.
so if you use that correctly, you're going to be stronger. That forced people to play scared against like a level 6 Nidalee because down
Yeah, yeah,
enough, then the all-in potential is definitely there.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like just using that range leash early on to keep them from all-inning you when you're weak, because yeah, Nidalee like 1 to 5 definitely a power trough. Like someone like Irelia or something like that could like if she was popular back then, before like because that was before the Trinity Force buff as well.
Yeah.
That because that happened towards the end of season 3. But like she definitely could have like jumped in and like I say it was season 4, like she could have jumped in like at level 4, 5, stunned you up and just made your life hell.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's just being able to
definitely.
like poke them down, keep them on that leash I was talking about, and really abuse the fact that you have that range advantage over them.
Okay.
Like that's the big part of playing like range top laners, because you gotta abuse it, because you got weaker base stats. Like you're not gonna be as tanky as melee champions. You're not gonna be, you know, you're not gonna have as much sticking power or anything like that. Like Gnar is a great example of this, because he's half melee, half ranged essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
In mini form, his base stats are a lot lower because what you're doing is like you're trading the higher base stats in Mega Form for the range in Mini Form.
Right.
And yeah, that is a it's a great example because like in mini form you have to like keep people on that leash like I was talking about. Like if you let someone get close to you, they're gonna do a lot of damage because you're like a lot weaker just off the principle of being ranged.
Yeah.
However, when you're in mega form, you want to be up for close and dueling people, and you need to kind of like position yourself so you can stick as opposed to position yourself so they can't get on you. So it's just a difference of playstyle between melee and ranged champions, and being able to use that
Right.
leash effectively, essentially. I have to relog because my client completely bugged out.
Yeah, mine's not really working either. Yeah.
That was weird.
I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of client bugs.
Client's been really buggy lately. It's whatever.
Yeah, it like takes like 3 to 4 tries to log in. Sometimes it's the connection problem.
But yeah, definitely when behind, like minimize kills, judge risk versus reward in every single decision. Like if I push up for this CS, have I seen their jungler recently? Like if not, maybe I should hang a little further back so I can escape if I need to. Like watch the enemy's playstyle because a lot of people will give away when their jungler's coming by having a rapid change of playstyle when their jungler approaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And warding up really prevents that. Like, there's a lot of good warding spots that will tell you when a jungler's going to be coming. Like, you can ward Try, you can ward River Bush, you can ward the entrance to the blue side jungle if like that helps. You can ward the bush you were standing in to take the goal or the Krugs. That'll like help you if you're pushed up and you want to see if they're going to just dive you through lane. Warding lane bush, like the far lane bush towards their tower, really helps because that will see if they go in any of the bushes, like the middle or the far bush, in order to gank you.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard for them to get into the close bush, because that's where your minions are. But like this, you just want to ward up like that and just prevent yourself from losing any more than you need to. And looking for opportunities to where you can come back into the game. Via like either outplays, ganks, or just preventing them from snowballing even harder.
Okay.
It can be pretty difficult in situations, like especially when you're up against a super snowball champion like Riven or something like that. But it's better to let yourself
Yeah.
it's better to let yourself be denied and not give her many more kills than have her be something that the rest of your team can't deal with any longer. Because like a 1 kill Riven, yeah, it sucks, but like if she doesn't get any more than that out of laning phase, then she's not going to be as useful as say you giving up like 4 kills or something like that. Because of like
Right. Okay.
greed.
Speaking of Riven, one matchup like I'm struggling with is Irelia versus Riven because I've heard that Irelia counters Riven, but like I always have trouble against it.
Not that's not true in the slightest. It's a completely skill based matchup. It's like 50-50 essentially when it comes to difficulty.
Okay.
You have to, yeah, that's a matchup where you really have to understand the concept of power spikes and cooldown timing. Because Riven plays a lot like, like a fighting game character, where you have to really abuse her cooldowns and mobility in order to kind of pin your opponent and make it so that you can win these trades. And, it's just really funny how, she was codenamed Project Marth when she was in development. And it's just funny how much like a fighting game character, like someone from Smash, she plays. Because essentially, so when you play as Irelia versus Riven, you have to realize that most Rivens are going to build pure damage and not get any tankiness. So
Yeah, yeah.
they have a scaling AD shield, which is something that you have to kind of play around. But it's not the worst in the world because you also have a lot of built-in mobility with your kit. So you can kind of match her mobility, especially if you're fighting with minions around you. When you fight her, you have to alright. So you'll want to she uses her cooldowns, like say she uses her W to farm the minion wave or something like that. That's generally when you want to start trying to go in and trade because she's going to be down a whole ability. For her W cooldown at rank 1 is 11 seconds minus any CDR.
Yeah.
So you have 11 seconds where she cannot stun you. So being like that, you have to take that window of opportunity, trade, and keep a mental note of it, and back out before it comes back up to where she can interrupt you in the middle of an auto attack. because like that's what a lot of Riven players will do. They like a lot of high tier Riven players, when they see that you're about to finish an auto attack animation, they'll either use their W or their third Q to interrupt you, so you have to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
up that entire swing again.
Uh-huh.
So you have your 11 seconds, and you need to trade then and back out before that comes back up. And it's just like manage. It's like laning against a Renekton. You need to just manage their cooldowns in your head, like count cooldowns in your head. You don't necessarily have to watch your own minions as much as you do Irelia. Like against everyone, you should be trying to keep their cooldowns in mind, but it's especially so against like Riven, Renekton, etc., because it really like changes how you fight them. Because if you go in on a
Yeah.
Renekton who has no cooldowns up, he's gonna like essentially be useless for about 7 seconds
Hmm.
until his Q comes back up at the very least. Riven, same deal. Just don't get like when you're facing her, just don't get baited by her Qs, because there's a trick with Riven that when you get if you're running CDR blues like
Oh,
most
yeah.
do, and you have CDR boots, if you Q and then you hold it until the end,
Yeah,
like
you
about
can
the end of the
change the
duration.
speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can chain it and it'll only have a 2 second cooldown when you use the third one.
Uh-huh.
So you gotta really be careful that you don't get baited into that.
Okay.
So yeah, when she shields, try not to like burn everything into a shield. Like try and kite the shield out. Uh, like when I play early against Riven and I use their shield, I'll try and like look and see if there's any minions I can blade surge to kind of force that gap. So because the shield's only 1.5 seconds. So once you
Right.
so you can either stun her during it, and then like kite, or just like kite her around and stun her afterwards. Um, but yeah, it's just a
I
lot
mean,
of like knowing how each champion plays and abusing their mechanics. Like it's a
can we
hard.
actually like
Yeah, we can do the
we
one v
do
one.
like a practice customers at the matchup just to see?
Yeah, we can do a 1v1. My Riven's not the greatest in the world. Like I'm still learning her. I'm alright on the animation cancels, but there's a lot more I need work on.
Right, but you're still dying once. That probably correlates to like a good Riven player down the line.
uh, like Riven's like a
Like a decent Riven player. I mean, I'm not talking about like Riven only player.
yeah, Riven's just a really hard champion in general. Like a lot of people like go, oh, Riven's so easy. She's not easy. She's a really hard
Yeah,
champion in
yeah.
order to play properly.
Reforged.
Because like you gotta get those animation cancels. You gotta know like how to trade and all that kind of stuff. It's really difficult.
Mhm. Also for rune page for champions like Queen, it like I've been deciding between like armor pen AD and attack AD, like more of a, like ADC style or like AD caster style.
ADC style is
Like
generally better.
ADC style, so like attack speed.
Yeah, like flat 80 Red's attack speed quince is better. I find that better on like Irelia, Gnar, etc., etc.
Hmm. I'm taking 20 attack speed in the armor quints
Okay,
on Aurelia right now.
you're doing the Irelia carries you thing.
Yeah, I'm doing that rune page.
All right,
'Cause,
all right. So the thing with that
I
is, the thing with that is like he understands the champion extremely well, so he's able to get away with altering his runes and masteries to better fit his play, like power spike play style.
Hmm.
Because
So what's the reasoning behind that rune page?
the reason behind it is because it gives you a little more durability in lane, but it also like it makes it so your damage in lane is like low, like in the early stages of the game where you're not as strong, a lot weaker. So you
Because
essentially
you don't
give
have
up your
time.
ability to trade level 1 through 3, like level 2 to 4, for a slightly stronger level 5 to 7 power spike, 5 to 9 power spike.
Hmm. Okay.
It makes you slightly tankier to a lot of physical damage dealers, but anyway, yeah, like it makes you a little tankier because you have the armor and the health. But like I said, you're sacrificing early damage, early CSing potential. Because if you're not really solid with farming on her without using Blade Surge, you're gonna run out of mana real quick.
Right.
So it's more of an advanced Irelia player rune page, I feel, like as opposed to just going like AD armor MR attack speed.
Hmm. Okay.
But like, it's not a bad rune page by any means. It's actually pretty good if you can work around that. You know, just like because that means you really have to play around your spikes.
Right. Because you don't have the flat AD, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't trade as effectively.
Also, when do you take like armor pen reds and when do you take flat AD reds?
I generally will never take armor pen.
Really?
Yeah,
Not like when people like Fiora, Renekton, and Riven, you
yeah.
don't take
I
it?
generally won't like. They're just not necessary.
Hmm.
You get enough armor pen from items. Like you can go,
Like Brutalizer, Last Whisper.
yeah, Last Whisper Cleaver, Last Whisper Yomu's, and that's like a shit ton of armor pen right there.
Oops. I expect some of
Ah, that was nice. I took a tower shot. But yeah, you see what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
a good power.
Playing in between cooldowns. Like I said, I'm not the best
Right.
Riven player in the world. I'm still like I have a lot to learn. I fucked up like 4 animation cancels there and canceled autos
Yeah, but
all
yeah,
over the
so basically
place.
you all trade me when you have all your abilities, but like if you mess up like there, then I could just take
Yeah, like but when
that's
you
really
came
bad.
in when I had my Qs rolling, like that was a really bad thing because I was able to just like stun you during your stun, which kind of canceled out the effect of being able to trade like that, and then was able to trade a little
Mhm.
harder. Like I don't know, I was like a better Riven player. I could have capitalized. I feel like I could have killed you there, but I'm just not.
Yeah,
So, um, like if I just ignited and kept going, I probably would have been your end. But I'm just not good enough for that at the
yeah,
moment.
probably.
It's like yeah,
So in a situation like that where I kill you near my tower, like was it right for me to keep pushing, or should I just immediately recall?
okay. So right here, you need to like essentially you either need to recalling there probably would have been the best option because this gives me the chance to freeze it right outside my tower and start denying you. Because like see right now, um, there's no way. Like right now, I can essentially just keep it right here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Hmm. Okay. So should I
Um,
just
yeah,
immediately
you should
recall
have
in
just
that case?
immediately backed because it would have had the minions at least stuck somewhere in the middle of the lane.
Okay.
Um, and like,
So
I wouldn't
only
be able to
push
do this
up
as
if you
easy.
can like push
Only,
it to the tower,
yeah,
basically.
push up if you can get to the tower. Like that's like you need to get the minions to the tower if you're gonna push up because other like go B because otherwise this is gonna happen. This is never a situation you want to be stuck in.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Also, build wise, I heard like I should rush Phage, it's not Shin in this matchup. Like after and
If
get
you can get it,
Ninja
if
happy
you get
early.
full
Is that
sheen,
like
if you get full sheen, then yeah, it's okay. You don't want to ever build sheen parts into this matchup.
okay.
But yeah, like see, if I was playing like right here, this is where I'd start having my jungler come up and gank you, because you have to play far up now in order just to farm.
Yeah.
And like with the like amount of just like knock up and slow and stuff I have, like just that pressure alone is enough to like start helping me come back in this lane. It's being able to manipulate minion waves, which really helps.
Oh.
Wow, I canceled 2 autos.
Oops.
Yeah, see, there's always comeback potential when it comes to things like that.
Yeah,
That
I was gonna
was
stun you after you, but you
that.
stunned me first. So.
Yeah, that's just playing greedy for farm. Because when your reaction time is when you're playing against opponents of equal or greater skill, like you always have to be careful. That's like that risk versus reward thing I was talking about. Is it worth
Yeah.
going in for this CS when I have this low health? Is the question you'd ask. Like, what could happen to me if I go in for this CS? Could I like? Is there any chance where they could interrupt me or something like that? Or is there a
Right.
chance they could kill me in that frame? Like, yeah, there was all the chance in the world I could have killed you there, so it wasn't worth it. You had 3 flask charges and 2 health potions, so just sitting back and sustaining a little bit further under tower. So I would have had to like dive you and die in that situation. Would have been the like more ideal option, because your healing
Right.
style gives you passive health back just by hitting, especially if you activate it under tower. That's still that coupled with the Doran's blade is actually a lot of health back. So it's just playing around
Yeah.
things like that. So now I was able to shove it near tower, and look where the wave's pushing again.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about with like a minion wave manipulation. It makes it really
Yeah.
hard for the enemy to play. But that's what I mean, like playing by behind. Like I knew I was gonna hit 6, and I knew all your abilities were on cooldown, so I just kept all-inning you.
Right. Yeah, even you were level 5, 'cause you were like 1 minute off 6.
Yeah, I was 1 caster from 6, and so when I all-in you in the middle of the caster wave, I knew I was gonna hit 6. Unfortunately, I didn't hit it with my W like I wanted to, so I had to spend an actual auto attack. But it's just playing to your strengths like that.
And now the wave is shoving, so at this point I will have to stay back because I will have to respect the jungle.
Yeah, unless you know where they are, then feel free to come up.
But I can't really like harass you like under tower, like I'm really at your ribbon, so
You can still E and walk out between tower shots.
you're shitty.
Any damage is good damage. You can also like auto when they go for casters, like kind of like prevent them from going near caster minions. I hit E instead of R there. That's what I'm talking about. Like you need like Riven really strong, like right there, especially when she starts getting that CDR. Like right there is when you really need to start like keeping track of cooldowns. Cause
Yeah, you got 3 shots spawn.
yeah,
So like, but like when can I win a fight if you like don't waste your spells on minions?
if you
Like you
when
just all attack the wave.
wait, you can win a fight. Like when you see me try and go in for like harass and stuff, like yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can try and like bait out some spells and then like start trading back like that. You don't on Irelia, you never want to get into an all-in fight with Riven because she will win essentially 100% of the time. That's just how the champion works. What you
Okay.
want to do is you want to try and like extend engagements, just whittle her down because you have the edge early on in sustain in like not really mobility, but like in fight mobility, I'd say, because Riven has to use her abilities for like damage and defense and offense, whereas your Blade Surge can just be like used. Yeah, your Blade Surge can be used to just like dash from minion to minion. So you never like. That's what I mean when I'm saying like abuse your mobility, because you have a lot more in-fight mobility than I do.
Let's see. Oh,
That's my death. Oh, maybe not. Ooh.
I wasn't sure how much what spells you were. What the
Uh,
fuck? I stunned the minion.
there.
Alright, I
See,
guess.
that's the kind of trade you want to get into. You see?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, what you want to get into longer engagements, because after, like, I
To cap
burn
on your
all my
W more,
bursts,
basically.
it gets harder for me to stay in a fight than it is for you to, like, stay in a fight. Because you have that built-in sustain with your ult, your W, everything like that, and you have the, like, this is the
Right.
hard CC that I have to respect. So it's just things like
Okay.
that. Kind of wish I flashed forward now, because I would have been able to kill you. Oh well.
Yeah. Right, so if I have 400 gold right now and I just finished stage, like what should I buy? Like, cause
Just go for the
if
Sheen.
I buy what?
Just get a mana crystal.
Just buy the mana crystal. Okay.
Mhm. Am I using? Oh shit! All right, that explains a lot. I'm using the wrong mastery page.
Uh,
Okay, I was wondering why like my spells weren't as short. Okay. Because like I've been sitting here going, why does my W take so long to come up in that situation?
cause it didn't take CR. Cool.
I accidentally took my attack speed instead of CDR offensive page, so like, yeah, this is whoopsie on my part.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you use ult there.
I thought I could interrupt your dash.
Ah. Oops, I didn't get the booster. Yeah, that was fine.
In that situation, you just want to dash on me. That's just being a little greedy on your part.
Yeah.
It looks like. I really wish I could play this champion better.
Alright, so at this point, would I want to freeze away?
Huh? You can't.
At this point?
At that point, you can't.
Because the minions will be...
Because essentially, okay, so in order to freeze the minion wave,
Like the uneven minion rule, is that? Yeah, I've heard of that. So.
in order to freeze the minion wave, you need to have a greater number of caster minions than they do. And you know that kind of works here, but the problem is that your wave is going to get there before mine does, and it's going to kill those minions off and stay grouped essentially.
Okay.
So right here is like easy freezing.
You're right.
Yeah, it was silly coming up that far. Like, yeah, it sucks to be denied, but like giving when you have no flash, no minions to dash to or anything like that, Riven's definitely going to be able to hunt you down.
Yeah,
Because you
I
burned
can't
your
use my
ignite
gun.
in that last engagement, whereas I didn't. So you also got to be very careful.
Right.
Like that's what I mean. Like, cooldown timings, like even summoner spells, just knowing when you have the advantage and when you don't. Because like this, like I said, is a really snowbally match. If you get a Riven player that actually knows what they're doing, and like that happens, it's essentially because in team fights, she's not your problem. She's your AD carry's problem. And she can blow up an AD carry a lot faster than you can at this point. Right now, I can essentially just...
definitely. I realize just is more utility, that's all.
Huh?
Like, I realize more, I guess, utility.
Yeah, you have more
outside of-
utility and sticking power, but Riven can just like go in, blow up your backline before you can really do what you need to do in a fight, is the problem. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, yeah, you're good at, like, you know, with utility and everything, but it doesn't really matter if you have no one to, like, do anything for. Alright, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's like really much else to like teach in this
Yeah, because you
situation.
got a tower. Alright. Um. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of
So
towers down and stuff. It's just like global gold starting to come in from like minions being minions.
yeah, we can end this
Yeah, we
question.
can end this, but yeah, it's just taking that situation, managing your cooldowns and the enemy's cooldowns, generally the way to win that matchup. Ugh, man.
Alright.
Wait up. Do you have any like final questions or anything? Just like anything, like any last question? Because we only have like 5 minutes left.
Yeah. Let me just think about
One more time, sorry.
I'm just thinking about. Sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. I didn't really hear what you said.
Um. So on champions that are weak in lane early, like I guess like say Diana or Kali for example, um, who are also melee, like how do you survive like until say like level 6 against like main bullies? Like it's like I either not get any farm whatsoever
You
or I can
legitimately
just
just have to let yourself get denied. Like that's just how it is. Like
okay.
Akali, yeah, she's strong in solo queue, but
She's
like
always banned, and I'm not that good at her.
yeah, like
But
you just have to let yourself get denied because you essentially all your power just comes from your base. Like you have a really strong bases, so once you hit 6, you can just start like roaming and getting like
yeah,
picking up kills in the mid lane or stuff like
mm.
that. That's essentially what she's good at. But yeah, you just kind of let yourself get denied.
And for those lane matchup, you want to like try to freeze the lane as much as possible, right?
Yeah, you want to try and like freeze it towards you so you can get as much farm as possible. Just be wary, be like careful though, because like if they have a strong laner and a strong jungler, diving is always an option if they have a pink ward. So
Mm.
yeah, alright, that's gonna about
Yeah.
wrap it up for me here because I got another one of these things in like 5-10 minutes. So
Okay. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
this is my little ending section here. This is my little.
Okay.
I'm gonna whore myself out. If you could give me a decent rating on the site, that helps me out a lot. If you like the coaching,
Yeah.
feel
Of
free to
course.
come back and sign up for more. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in client. I'll do my best to answer when I have the time. If I'm like in a game, you know, it can be a little difficult for me to
All
answer.
right.
I also
Yeah.
stream
Yeah. Okay.
twitch.tv/icenari. You have a YouTube channel that's on there as well. This lesson will be going up on that YouTube channel as well as all the others. So like, if you ever want to watch anything else or maybe whatever, all that's on there. And that ends my little
Okay.
segment. So I just do
All
that at the
right.
end of
Thank
like
you.
every session because you know helps me out a little bit.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
I give an hour of my time to help you. You can give me 45 seconds.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it was nice meeting you, and hope you do well in the new season because that's gonna be kicking off here really soon.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
I
I'll try to keep in mind what you said and see if I have any.
I might have
Yeah.
to like cancel a few lessons here depending on when the season hits because like people were saying it was gonna hit on like Saturday, and once it hits, I just want to like spend that entire week just grinding the ladder.
Oh. Mm.
Because like last season, I was eighth on the ladder after the reset. Like after it reset, I was like number 8 in like
Wait.
diamond.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was like uh,
Oh my goodness.
day one. At the end of day one, I was diamond 3.
That is awesome.
And then I got to my diamond 1, like my promos to diamond 1, but don't mash me trolled the shit out of me. So I got promoted to diamond 2. So I was like number 15, and then I got to Diamond 1, I start climbing, I'm at like 68 points, and then I get the firewall error because like something happened with Riot servers and certain IPs could no longer connect, and so I could only connect to one in every 20 games for about a month, and I was just like so mad.
Wow.
Yeah, so I missed my spot in like high challenger because of that, and so I've been stuck like,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of gave up on ranked for like 7 months, and then I got into a team and I started to play again, and so I'm getting back. I was just getting back into the swing of things. That's why I have so few ranked games compared to a lot of the other people.
Yeah, you do, because like a lot of people they have yeah, thousands of games and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I'm
don't really have the time to like grind the ladder as much, but Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to hit early challenger next season. So I'm
Good luck
gonna
with that.
thank you. So yeah, if you want like later at a later date, feel free to reschedule. Other than that, I gotta go get set up for my next one. So I will talk to you later. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah. Thank you again.
No problem. See you around. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom while I prepare for the next one.
if they started, I'm doing raise. I'm doing raise.
I got maple. Oh shit! Wait! I was kidding.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
I went in, guys.
All right, we're good.
I'm out.
We're good. We did.
10 seconds.
Oh, fight!
Oh my god.
Lucian! Fight! Lucian!
Hey, watch.
Cassidy!
Yo, boy.
Boy, where the fuck are you? Boy, where the fuck did you go?
Great team synergy, guys.
Boy, dude, come on, what are you fucking doing?
What, Leo?